People. Tired of all that baloney they force feed you on social media?
Yes.
Then get connected to Power 108.9, a station for the people. Keep it locked to Power 108.9, the station for the people.
If you're a content creator, social media socialite, influencer, or simply love to record current events, you need the joystick. The joystick is an essential tool for every type of digital content creator. It holds 2 or more mobile phones or tablets, allowing users to stream and record hands-free on multiple apps simultaneously. And it's lightweight and portable. For more information or to purchase your joystick today, visit our website at www.joystick.com.
Yo, it's Michael McFadden of Power 108.9, and I want to ask you a question. Are you looking for a new house? If so, you need to holler at our guy, the mortgage guy, Alvin Jameson. AlvinJameson.com. Yeah, Alvin like the chipmunk, and Jameson like that fine whiskey. Not only can he help you on the purchase of that new home, he can also assist you on that refinance as well. So whether it's FHA, conventional, and of course that VA home loan that you sitting on right now, yo, call Alvin Jameson. 404-587-9033. Once again, 404-587-9033. Trust the guy we trust here at Power 108.9. Alvin Jameson. AlvinJameson.com, or just call him 404-587-9033. And of course, tell him you heard it right here on Power 108.9. Let's go.
The opinions and views expressed by this program are those of the program host, and guest, and do not necessarily reflect the views of Power 108.9 and its officials. We hope you enjoy.
Yep, good to go.
Welcome to Ikonic Konvo with Diamond
and Dijon Talks.
Where conversations truly matters.
Conversations that's impacting our local communities.
Join us live right here on Power 108.9 every other Monday night from 8 p.m. until 9, while Dejan and I dive into thought-provoking conversations that are affecting our local communities. Join us as we advocate for change, bringing the new voices of reason. Make sure that you are tapping in every other Monday night and help us to bridge the gap.
It's time for some new voices in our communities.
Speak with you soon.
Yo, DJ!
Welcome to Ikonic Konvo with Diamond and Dijon Talks. Good evening, everybody. Happy Monday. Diamond.
Yes, Dejan.
Long time no see.
I know, I've been hiding, trying to stay away from Dejan Talks. He's a troublemaker.
Oh, no, that's not good. Don't say that too loud. People might believe those lies.
It's true, y'all.
So how was your day today, Diamond? How was your day?
Phenomenal. I can't complain. How about yourself?
I'm blessed and highly favored, man. I think that the drive today got a little bit shorter.
For you?
Well, the ATL actually learned how to drive today.
Not on my side.
They learned how to drive today. 75 was actually kind of green and not red. I was kind of excited about that. So the drive wasn't too shabby.
Can't say the same for 285 with those cars that flipped over. I just pray that everybody's okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's one of those things that we just can't get away from. We see them each and every day on these roads. I saw an 18-wheeler on the opposite side run off the road and ran into the trees. And all I could do is like, God, be with them, because that one looked kind of bad. But tonight we want to talk to the people, man. We want to talk about a subject that I feel like is impacting our local community. As everybody knows, Ikonic Konvo, we cater our conversations to impacting our community, people that look like us, represents us, and supports us. And tonight's subject is a little bit different what we usually talked about from the last two conversations. And we want to talk about the health epidemic in our local community, more so in the aspect of what we are consuming on the day-to-day basis.
I'm guilty as charged.
You're guilty, huh? I think
guilty as charged.
I think we all can hold ourselves accountable to making some poor decisions when it comes down to nutrition. I think we live in such a fast-paced society that has driven us to either work 2 jobs or constantly on the go, that the traditional household of everybody sitting around the dinner table and consuming a meal as a family sounds like an archaic concept.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we have been driven to great marketing that's driven us to the arms of fast food.
Fast food.
Greasy food, high cholesterols, fatty foods, and all of those delicious things that doesn't seem to work real well with our arteries.
So true.
In your household, every time I call you, you seem to be in the kitchen.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Oh, here comes that Jamaican.
Yeah, man. No, I love
Here comes that
style.
Jamaican coming out of you.
Of course, man.
And I'm always in the kitchen
Yes,
as a
you're
Haitian.
always
I'm
in the
always in
kitchen.
the kitchen. I got two big boys that need food, and I got to feed them.
Ayati.
Listen, my oldest went from benching 115 to now benching 185 in a month and a half.
I saw the progress.
Yeah,
I've been
little buddy,
watching.
he was flexing early. I'm like, look at little buddy arms. Okay, I see him. But that came at a high grocery bill. It also came at a disciplinary factor. I don't really buy my kids fast food. One particular, they're not paying me for advertisement, so I guess I could talk. I don't buy my kids McDonald's ever, like ever, right? My mother, she died from cancer in 2015, and she died at a very young age. She was in her 50s.
Wow.
Not like she was old or anything like that. And my father last year, about a week before my birthday last year, he died because of complications from a previous stroke, high blood pressure, diabetes.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, so these conversations for me, they touch close to home because I see the impact that's having on my immediate family.
Right.
My little sister, unfortunately, she's struggling with high blood pressure, cholesterol, and what are those things called? Fibroids.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what those health issues can do.
Absolutely.
But I don't believe that my family is the only family being impacted by these things.
Absolutely not.
Do
Mine in particular, yes.
have you faced any of these
Myself.
illnesses?
Myself, correct, yes. I had to get, my gallbladder removed, and
Okay.
remember the conversations that we've had about my workout, because my progress was, I was actually doing phenomenal.
I remember.
But then, of course, I fell back, and not because I wanted to, doctor's orders, and I was
Gotcha.
a little bit depressed about it. And with me, depression comes my eating habits
Change.
I mean, honestly, and I mean that's something that I've always owned up to. Whenever I get down, comfort is food, and it's strange. And I think my issue is the carbs. Like my sister and I had this conversation, and we're just like, it's the rice and the bread. It's the rice and the bread. The ardo bread and the beef patty.
The devil. The devil.
Exactly. It's not even the sweets, because I could go without sweets.
Okay.
My issue is, yes, give me some rice and peas. I can't eat the rice and peas, some Spanish rice, and the hardo bread and the beef patty.
Yeah.
That's my struggle, y'all. That's my struggle.
I think a lot of women can relate to you. I don't know any woman that doesn't have the carb crisis. Right? The carb crisis seems to be an epidemic, right?
Yes.
It is real. I think men, we just have that. We eat too much crisis. We just eat large portions at the wrong times.
Yes.
And then we just sit on it.
My husband.
And we just sit.
I'm sorry, honey.
You shouldn't have said that.
Hey, look, we're keeping it real. If I can
okay.
be transparent, I could put him on the table as well.
He said he could
Listen.
keep it real for himself. Don't speak for him, all right? Don't speak. So I wanted to touch the subject because I feel like, Diamond, that a lot of people, they may have ambitions when it comes down to their health. Every January, you know what we do, right? January 1st.
Exactly. We're doing the New Year resolutions.
I hate resolutions.
I don't do the whole resolution thing.
I remember in 2020, I created a end of the year message video, and I said, the greatest message you're ever going to hear. And I talk about, you better never make a resolution, right? Because it is such a setup for failure.
It is.
And people go into this concept, and then within about a couple months, life starts whooping on people. And they don't have the discipline to execute on the plan that they had created for themselves, which is a health. But I was always taught that health doesn't necessarily start physically with you going to the gym. It starts in the kitchen. You want six pack? You could do all the sit-ups you want, all the leg lifts, all the machines, until you get in that kitchen and correct that formula. Six pack no come. you're just gonna be building a lot of muscle under a lot of layer of fat.
No come.
No, it don't come, right? It don't come, right?
Not come.
Well, if your health ain't right, you no come either. It is what it is. If your health not right, you no come either.
It's true.
And
It's
listen,
true.
hey, I'll speak from a male narrative. When we start to get a little bit obese, what the things that happens to keep certain things moving is you need oxygen. Well, if you can't get oxygen, and your heart ain't pumping like it ain't to, well, certain things just don't function properly.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? So eating and health is crucial to even your passion side of your life that you want to enjoy.
Absolutely.
The lasting longer, the keeping it up or whatever. A lot of those things require certain level of nutrition, certain level of hydration. I read recently that it says majority of people don't eat bad. They drink bad. Majority of the carbs, the bad carbs that we consume are not even from what we physically eat, is what we drink. We wake up early in the morning, you know where we go? Starbucks.
Very
We
true.
order that, whatever, that Frappuccino, whatever you order. Hey, would you like whipped cream on top? Of course I would want my whipped
We
cream
want
on
the caramel and chocolate.
macchiato, right? We know the names, right? And you know I want my whipped cream on top, right?
Absolutely.
And then, who doesn't like a good shake? And who doesn't like a good cola? Oh, depending where you're from, you say pop, or you say cola, or you say soda, depending on where you're from, right? And who doesn't like a good passion fruit drink? Passion fruit? We love passion fruit, right? And who doesn't like a good glass of wine to end out the night? Or if you're not a wine person and you're like me, you pull out that brown and you have it straight. No chaser.
Well, I think I'm guilty in checking all the boxes for
You checked all the boxes.
all the above.
Right. While these things we may define as just pastimes and some of the luxuries that we enjoy, they do have a lot of effects.
Absolutely.
Health effects in particular. When I was reading the CDC guidelines, when it came down to my beautiful African American people, and African American just means black, all of us, whether you're from the islands or not, this is applying to you as well. If you made a doctor's visit, then they did a little test on you. If you didn't, then we're still going to count you anyway, right? Because you probably have it. Where we were looking at, for every 100,000 high blood pressure, we make 12% of those numbers.
Yep.
So in high blood pressure, we made 12% from ages 18 to 34. You know, that number bothered me because I'm thinking 18 years old is so young. When I was 18, I was running around. I was so active. I mean, you couldn't stop me. And high blood pressure, diabetes, or anything was not on my agenda.
A lot of things have changed, and you have to consider, the timing of everything. My aunt and I had that conversation on our prayer line about timing. When you're looking at things, we realize that our children of today, they're not as active as we were when we were younger. Majority are sitting right on their sofa or in their room, planted in their gaming chair right in front of that game system, and of course, they're not hip to the outside games, the hopscotch, the double dutch, dandy shandy, you name it.
I haven't heard those words in a while.
Okay, but I'm just telling you, you don't see them playing tag, the wheelies, you don't see kids outside and active, engaging with each other as we used to when we were younger. And then, of course, we were slapped with the pandemic, which forced us to be inside. And that's why I thought that this topic was very relevant to what we've been discussing as far as mental health and everything, because it all plays such an important role. It's very pertinent because a lot of people, not only our children, are suffering, from mental health issues, and this, how they cope. It's a whole different factor. And that's why I thought this, again, to reiterate, was a great topic and subject to discuss because, some, like myself, as I expressed earlier, a coping mechanism when I'm feeling a certain way is, hey, okay, let me go get a beef patty. And then some people, they, like you said, Starbucks, their wines, and, these things are a form of addictions, and, people are not hip to it, and they need to realize that it's, chain reaction to everything, cause and effect.
So I have a question. You brought up a good point. So I have to question parenting, right? Because as children, we did all of those things.
Absolutely.
And we enjoyed those, didn't we?
Yes.
You couldn't keep us in the house.
Didn't even want to come in when the light came on.
Remember that? I was just about to say, you read my mind. You better get your house, but in that house, when that light come on, that street pole outside come out, right? And we still didn't show up then, right? But it's okay. We took the consequence because it was fun to be out there, right? Okay, so if we lived that lifestyle and we enjoyed it and we understood the benefits of it as adults now, why are our kids sitting on the couch then?
Great question.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you mentioned it. It's parenting, and if in our households we don't have schedules or we don't implement certain things, then of course our children are just going to go with what's common to everybody else. Oh, well, my friend is doing it, so I'm going to do it as well. And 99.9% of the times, if you look at it, a lot of the households, we touched on it before when we were talking about all the crisis that's going on with the shooting, gun violence, and, our communities, and mostly single mothers, single fathers, and you have to dedicate time management for everything, because if not, you don't set the bar for your children or implement certain things and say, hey, time and place for everything. We have a schedule. We have to follow this schedule. Just like my sister and I, we put together a little schedule for the kids for the summer. But in between, we have, hey, you're going to have fun, but you're also going to do a sheet, twice a week to make sure that you're not missing out when you go back to school. Your brain is still ready to say, hey, I'm ready for whatever you throw at me. So, it's just a time and place for everything, and just, make sure that you're implementing certain morals, instilling them in your children. If we don't, then of course we're right here with the kids just raising themselves with the television. They're spoiled, and, majority of the time is, hey, mom may be tired, dad may be tired. And of course, when you have the mom and dad in the household, if you look at it, a lot of people tell you all the time, and I hear it even from the other talk show that we did with, House Call, and speaking with a lot of these amazing people, it's all about time management. They just don't have the time because they're so busy. But we have to make sure that we're not too busy for our children, ourselves, or personal needs, because that's where we lose track of everything. I have to own up to it myself, and even speaking with my fellow women about this same topic, we're too busy to take care of us. So when you're running around rampant and say, hey, I have to get the bag, if you continue to chase the bag and you don't take care of you, that bag is going to continue, being there, and other people are going to be able to make that bag, because guess what? You neglected yourself, and now you're no longer with us. So guess what happened? That bag you were chasing is still sitting there, and you're gone.
Couple points that I'm going to make up based on everything you said. I heard a quote recently, and I really like that quote. Well, it was a quote that I reheard. I heard it prior. And it says, we're so busy giving our kids everything we didn't have, we forgot to give them the things that we did have.
Mm-hmm. The things that they need, necessities.
Yeah, but we're so busy. But we're so busy creating a life that they didn't have. We didn't have for them. That we neglect some of those things that we did have.
Right.
Another thing that came to my mind as you were speaking about chasing the bag, which is like the common thread in today's society. Boss this, boss that. I can't stand the word boss, by the way. So if anybody uses boss around me, I'm cutting you off.
I'm a boss, babe.
Yeah, I can't stand that word. I'm cutting you off ASAP. If you come around,
we're bosses.
I'm a boss this, I'm a boss that. I'm cutting you off. I'm blocking you. Block, right? But one thing about that concept is, what I've realized is, the visual that came to my mind is, I've never seen a hearse being chased by everything that it owns.
Exactly.
I have never seen a hearse. If it has happened, I haven't seen it. I'm sure some dumb person was dumb enough to say, bury me with all my stuff. I'm not sure who followed those rules. I wouldn't have followed those rules. I would have kept all his stuff. But if somebody was loyal enough to throw all that stuff in there, hey, good for them, right? They have some loyal people around them. I would have kept all that stuff, right? But I've never seen a hearse being chased by a U-Haul, by a bank, by a business, by Red Bottoms, by Louis, Gucci. I've never seen a hearse being chased by everything that we chase on the day-to-day. Everything we're chasing is not chasing us when we die.
It's a facade. Everything is a huge facade, and I totally get where you're going with everything, because you know what, we Media, and I'm in media, and you know I'm big on this. The
Yep.
television, it's a huge brainwashing system, and I'm sorry I said it. Okay,
TV programming.
exactly.
Okay.
And we all see these lavish lifestyles, and celebrities. You and I, I'm quite sure all of our networking circle, we're always around celebrities.
Correct.
However, there are people.
I'm around you now, so I'm around a celebrity.
Shut up.
All right.
And likewise. So, hey. But, the point that I'm trying to make is this. They're people just like you and I. They're human. They bleed just like we bleed.
Correct.
So, they have their woes. It may not be broadcast every day.
Correct.
Some, they can't help it because they're always in the media. But what you see is, half the time, and even with social media, people put on such a huge front of how their life is so perfect and everything is grandeur.
Yeah.
And, behind closed doors, it's a whole different subject. And that's why this whole mental health and coping mechanism and taking care of you is such an important subject, because people have to stop, be mindful of the messages that they're putting out there. I understand that she wants to be like, oh yeah, I'm the it factor, or like you said, a boss babe or a boss him.
Say it like I said it. That's right. Say it. Put it out there.
Honestly, but
See, but this ties back into this, right, Diamond? What this ties back into is literally the conversation we're having. And then
depressing.
You just took the words right out of my mouth, right? A lot of the times, one of the reasons why we're having a lot of these health issues when it comes down to nutrition, you touched on one major area, which was anxiety, depression, whatever it is we're going through at that time mentally, has a major impact on two ways. Some people, they starve themselves to death.
Absolutely.
They cannot eat. They have no appetite. If their heart's not happy, they're not eating. I'm that guy. I'm going to starve. I don't have no appetite. Others don't have that problem. They're going to find that ice cream bucket. They're going to find that food. They're going to find that drink. And they're going to consume themselves to an unhealthy result. Diabetes amongst our people, 50 to 64 is 23%. High blood pressure is at 61% at that age group. I mean, if you're black and American, from the CDC, and you're age between 50 and 64, we're at 61%. And high blood pressure is something that's killing people left and right. Stroke right now has increased from 3.4% to 8.9% amongst our people. Stroke is a result of high blood pressure. It's a result of depression and stress.
Yes.
Now, believe it or not, fun fact, food can have an impact on your emotions.
Absolutely.
Depending on what you eat would depend on what type of reaction, mindset,
Correct.
chemicals that's being released in your body, and how that's going to play out with your day-to-day activity. I wake up every morning, and I'm gonna throw some salt on some of the mothers out here. And they see me posting me and my boys going to the gym every morning, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Where it's summer. Let them boys rest. Why are you waking these boys up every morning at 8 a.m. and going to the gym? Now, mind you, my kids don't complain. They're not the ones saying, oh, Dad, I'm sore. It's Wednesday. Can we take a day off? They come get me. Let's go. Let's go. Right? Because this is a time that they're being able to spend with their fathers. This is a bonding time. The majority of fathers in America don't have the time that I have to create for their kids. The whole summer, the boys see me every day, 24 hours a day. Well, not a lot of fathers can say that, right? So in the mornings, our routine is we wake up and we go to the gym and we make it happen, right? All of the mothers on social media wants to go ahead and inbox my little fat ass and tell my little fat, little Humpty Dumpty looking behind, hey, little fat bald guy, like, what do you want? You do know it's summer. Can you let them boys sleep in? Boy, they're not asking me to sleep in. They can sleep in all day after the gym. They don't have no school to go to, right? They can rest after the fact. Now, my son, though, he just went from benching 115 a month and a half ago, and he is so ecstatic that he benched 185 today.
Right.
He went from looking like a little skeleton. Now I'm seeing little bulks on his little arms, and he is loving the results, and he's bragging all his friends, and he's like, I can't wait to get back. We're about to go to the gym and this and that. And we're eating cook meals every single day.
Right.
Every day we're eating cooked meals, right? They're loving it. I don't buy fast food. I'm not buying it. But what they're happening is, my oldest son said to me earlier today, he says, I am the happiest I've been this summer than I've been in all of the summers. He likes what he's eating. He likes that dad is sitting out here and dad is cooking and dad's doing this and dad's doing that. He likes the fact that he's seeing the results. He likes the fact that he has more energy. He likes the fact that his brain is sharper because he's studying for the ACT over the summer, right? And he likes the fact that he's the top 2% in his class because of the things that he's investing in himself, and he's seeing the health results. But these little mothers out here.
Question for you then.
But these little mothers out here, Diamond, they want me to take it easy and
right. That's
not take them to the gym.
That's the question I'm posing. Why do you believe, they're giving you such a feedback on, hey, stop? I mean, I commend you. I'm always
maybe
like,
they're
hey.
not dedicated enough to do it. Maybe they're just softies and they're just like,
Possibly.
give these kids a break. I'm not giving them no break.
No, I mean, I commend you on that.
Weren't we the ones talking a couple weeks ago about I'm raising black men in America?
Exactly.
What break did you want me to give them again? Because I didn't get that. Because last I understood, I was raising black men that's going to marry your black daughter.
Correct.
So you want me to give him a break too? Or so you can complain about him later, right? I'm raising black men that's going to be responsible. You want me to give him a break too? Because he got to wake up, make his bed before he leaves the house, brush his teeth before he leaves the house. If there's any mess, he needs to fix it before he leaves the house. So I'm teaching you a man that's going to be domesticated to be able to help you in the house.
Why do you think that's important at this time?
I only got a couple more years with the little things, right? This is the crucial, pivotal moment in this society. They understand responsibility. My youngest is 12, and I give him more responsibility than he could handle. Because I understand that, first of all, tomorrow is not promised to me. So while I'm here today, I'm going to install as much as I can. I'm not going to take for granted today, like tomorrow's promise. It ain't promised. I don't care how healthy I am.
Right.
Secondly, in my mind, I've never been raising boys. I was always raising men. And because I know I'm raising men, I raise them to have the maturity level of a man. Because one thing that a woman's not going to do is come complain to me about their daughters saying, oh, he ain't no good.
Well, I'm glad that you explained that and you expressed how you felt about it, because now when you share this on your feed, I know everybody usually comments on your postings as well as mine. Now they have the answers as to why you consistently do it.
Well,
and
I just block them.
Stop it. The thing is, and what I want to reiterate here is consistency. You have to be consistent, especially when you're promoting change. Okay, you want to have or young men in a certain mindset, and you as a father, a black father having black young men, you are instilling certain morals and guiding them into their manhood so that they don't have to depend on anyone. They could do for themselves, and not only that, they know how to take care of their own household and can teach their household how to be young men, young women, because these principles or these morals that you're instilling, they could share it with their young ones.
I want my boys to be an asset. I'm tired of these black boys being raised by 70% single black women and seeing a black woman do everything, expecting that he's going to go into a relationship and expect the same thing. That's not my boys.
Right.
I refuse, right? So with that being said, when we come back on the subject of nutrition, we're going to be bringing in a special guest from New York.
Yay.
Chef D. She's the owner of
Chef
Blue
D.
Mermaid Gourmet.
I need help, girl.
And she has an amazing story, an amazing weight loss story.
Awesome.
And she has some tips for us in the kitchen. And we look forward to hearing from her. You are listening to Diamond Dijon on Ikonic Konvo each and every first and third Monday.
Keep up with Power 108.9 on social media.
Can I find you?
Instagram
At Power 108.9.
and Facebook.
At Power 108.9.
It's the exact same thing. It's at Power 108.9.
Okay.
Power 108.9, a station for the people.
Yo, it's Michael McFadden for our friends over at Credit Building Professionals. You know what they do? They help their clients achieve better credit. How? late payments, fraud, liens, charge-offs, student loans. They do it all. Get results in 30 to 90 days, and it's very simple to contact them. Hit them up on their website, creditbuildingprofessionals.com, or give them a call, 678-447-2012. Once again, 678-447-2012. Tell them you heard it on Power 108.9. What up, Credit Craig? You know what idea I gave Malik?
What?
When I get
With mine, and I'm almost 40. I'll be 40 this month.
Damn.
Really, Michael?
I'm sorry.
Power 108.9, a station for the people.
Hey Atlanta, this is Sayon, and you're listening to Power 108.9.
Welcome back to Iconic Konvo with Diamond and Dejan Talks. So, if you guys been following in the conversation, we've been talking about a lot of aspects of health and nutrition. We're going to be getting ready to get a call in from Chef D from New York. Hopefully she's listening in and she gives us a call. Until she calls in, there's a couple things that I wanted to highlight from our previous conversations earlier, Diamond. Is the fact that you talk about this new busy lifestyle that we're living in today's society.
Mm-hmm.
And how that's having an impact in the home when it comes down to nutrition. And the convenience of fast food. Now, while I may not condone, bringing too much fast food in the home because I know some of the health risks that comes with that, I do understand what a busy lifestyle looks like. I also understand, I don't know how it is over here, but there are some healthy options even though if you're on the road. Some of those healthy options is if we have them, I know certain places have places like Pollo Tropical. Don't know if you heard of it. You ever heard of Pollo Tropical? Oh man, it must not be an Atlanta thing. It must be a South Florida thing. Mm-hmm. So Pollo Tropical is like a pollo champero. It's like a island food drive-by, right?
Okay.
And what it is you can go, you can get your little rice and peas, you can get your little chicken, but it's real food.
Okay.
Real food on the go, right? I would recommend going to Publix. And getting you a wrap or a wheat if you have to eat bread, your Whole Foods, right? If you have to get something fast on the go. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of new vegan locations,
yes.
Especially in the Atlanta area.
Juice bars.
Listen, lots of juice bars, lots of health options. Now, a lot of people may say, well, these things are a little bit pricey. A little bit above my pay grade, buddy. All right. Some of these options you're throwing out there is above my pay grade. Great. I'm glad you said that. Secondary option. You go to the grocery store, right? Whatever one is your choice. You go down the health aisles, right? Like the greens and the fruits, and you get your proteins, right? Then you go home. And on Sundays, you do what's called a meal prep, right? You create an hour or two into your day. That time that you would just want to sit down and watch Netflix for like 10 hours and binge, you take 2 of those binging hours or the gossip hours or maybe the brunch hours where you was going to spend $200 at the brunch anyway, right? What had happened was, right, that you was going to go to the brunch and spend that money anyway.
Exactly.
And somebody, cause the food probably does taste good. I'm sure that chicken and waffle was real good. That shrimp and grits was really good, but you can only have so much chicken and waffle and shrimp and grits. All right. You can only have so much, right?
For the cholesterol.
I mean, you can only buy it so much. But if you cook it in your kitchen, it probably costs you less than $3.
Very true.
So not only is it going to be a healthier option, it's also going to save you tons of money in the long run. See, a lot of people don't understand is we don't really calculate how much money we spend on food monthly or annually as a household, besides the groceries. Did you know that 40% of the groceries we buy, we actually throw away because we don't cook it or eat it?
Mm-hmm.
40%.
Guilty as charged.
Guilty. look at him back there. 40%. You buy, you say, Michael, I'm going to eat healthier. We buy that spinach. It goes in the back of the fridge. And something starts smelling. And you're like, man, I never got to that spinach. Or you buy so much fruit because you're going to start this new crave. I'm going to buy all these fruits. I'm going to eat these fruits. And you got fruit flies all over your house. Gnats all over the house, right? But you bought a lot of fruits now, but you can't consume it, right? We overdo in certain situations. Everything has to be in moderation, right? Right. Weekly shopping's overdoing it, right? Let the fridge go empty a little bit. It's okay. You don't have to constantly fill up the freezer. let it go empty. It won't cry. I promise you. It's not like your stomach. It can go on empty, right? I always tell people to utilize majority of what you have before you go back to the store, because what we're doing is we're going back to the store for the things that we like.
Very true.
We're going back to the store for the things that we like, and neglecting some of those healthy things that we really wanted to eat.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So what I want to do is I want to focus on a lot of those stats that we were talking about. I actually did some research on some meals that we can actually create. There are 10 meals that I found on the Food Network. You know, if you have cable, which I don't know who still has cable in today's society. Oh, that must be you.
You know what?
I do some shit. You still got cable?
No.
You still paying for cable?
No. I pay for internet.
Pay for internet. Okay,
Yes.
okay. So, if for all those people that that's still paying for cable, on the Food Network, I looked up 10 recipes that you can make for under $3. Under $3.
Okay.
You know, the Haitian in me almost just said, "Hey, spaghetti and hot dogs." Boom, bam. That's a meal right there for $2. Right? That's a meal right there for $2. I think right now we have our caller on the line, Chef D. Chef D, you there? Chef D, can you hear me?
Okay.
Hello?
Hey, Chef.
Hi, how are you, Dejan?
I'm doing good. How you doing? How's New York treating you?
New York is beautiful this time of year.
Is it now? No trees and lots of bricks, right?
Yes.
my counterpart here, Diamond, you know, she's a New Yorker, so you know, she probably
come for New York,
she doesn't like my jokes.
Hey, New York.
I know that's right. I'm with you, Chef D. Got your back.
So Chef D, not sure if you've been following on the conversation. Today we're having a conversation about nutrition and health, and when I was thinking about who could I invite to come speak on this subject, I couldn't think about anybody better than you because I follow your story. You now look like a walking skeleton, but you're a beautiful looking skeleton. I'm sure your husband loves you just the way you are. And just a couple sentences or a paragraph. So can you tell us about your weight journey and how much weight you've lost thus far?
So my weight journey, let me see. I started March 9th, 2021. Because I was tired all the time. I had no energy to do anything with my kids. When I get home from work, it's like I just had enough energy for work. And once I got home, my day's over. I was in pain. If I walk up a flight of stairs, I'm out of breath. I just didn't feel well. Even when I was overweight, I always thought I was cute. I never had a self-esteem issue. But when I started to not feel good, that didn't sit well with me. I've done a weight loss journey before and lost a ton of weight, and then I would gain it back and gain more than I had started with. And this time I was like, okay, I know diets don't work. I mean, I've done Jenny Craig and Nutrisystem and all those things, and I would lose weight and then I would gain it back. Once you get off the program, you put the weight back. And this time I had to do some soul searching and say, I don't think the weight is the problem. I think there's more going on, and I needed to figure out where this problem started from. So I had to be naked in front of the mirror. And what I mean is I had to really look at the whole person. What makes me happy? What makes me sad?
Yes.
How I react when I'm happy? How I react when I'm sad? And then I started noticing patterns of behaviors.
Yes.
I tend to be, a shy person, more on the timid side. So if I get nervous in like social environment, I would eat a lot, and that was a way of self-soothing. If I'm happy, if I'm sad, it didn't matter what emotion I was going through, food was a comfort zone. And so I had to replace that. I had to find something else I get pleasure in. So being a chef, being, a therapist, a healthcare professional and stuff, and being a foodie, I needed to make sure that whatever I decided to do, that my food would taste good. Anything I did had to be something I enjoyed. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to keep up with it. because it wasn't enough for me to just do something to lose the weight. It's something that I would be able to continue doing for the long haul, so I wouldn't find myself back in that same position. You know, I got to a point where I became a diabetic. I was on insulin. I have high blood pressure, was on 3 different medications for the high blood pressure. I was having heart issues and was on a beta blocker. I had autoimmune diseases and was on medications for those. And it became too much. And headaches all the time, backaches, pains. Tylenol lived in my pocketbook. Like, I didn't leave my house without Tylenol. So to answer your question, I've lost 87 pounds since then, starting March.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. But I realized it wasn't enough for me to just put a Band-Aid on my situation. I had to figure out where it started from. And I went way back to my childhood. When I was about 15, I started developing some bad behaviors, bad sleeping habits, because I'm a bookworm. I would stay up all night and study so I could get good grades. I wanted to graduate high school early. I did, but it was at a cost of not sleeping. So I gave myself a bad sleeping problem. So I figured, okay, let's start with sleeping. I can't just survive on 3 hours of sleep. Let me try to get 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours. And then I read somewhere you should get between 7 and 8 hours. So I insisted on sleeping 7 and 8 hours, or 7 to 8 hours every night. So that was the first step, like small changes, like sleeping. And then, I did a lot of research. I found out if you're not drinking enough water, you cannot lose weight, because your body, a large portion of your body is water. So if it's dehydrated, it's going to draw water and pull water from other organs, and that's going to cause stresses and issues. So you have to drink at least 64 ounces of water. And some people say it's 1 ounce of water for every 2 pounds of weight. So if you're 200 pounds, you have to drink 100 ounces of water. So I started drinking really 64 ounces of water every day. And then I decided, I need to move. Now, I haven't found an exercise that I like. Not dancing, not anything. If it requires me to move much, I don't like it.
Okay.
I realized I can do walking.
Okay.
I can't run. And I had a gym membership for 10 years. I gave up that gym membership the day I decided to start this program, because I hated going to the gym. That's why I would only go 2 days a week, 3 days a week. And I'm like, okay, that cannot be part of my new lifestyle change if I don't like it so much. So I had to do something I really like, and I like walking. So I said, all I'm going to do is the walking. So I decided to walk every day. And again, I'm a creature of habits. If I do something, I have to do it every day. It has to become part of my routine. Otherwise, I can't maintain it. So walking before work every day, 1 hour. After work every day, 1 hour. And I gave myself that. Sometimes I get to the park, I sit in the car, and I'm like, I'm tired. I really just want to go home. But I know once I get home, I'm going to crash on that couch, and that's it. But I sit there, and I see these little old ladies in their 80s, 90s walking by with a cane, with 2 kids. I'm like, what is my excuse? Like, get off your butt and get walking. If she can do it, you can do it. So I have not missed not one day, even when it snowed, when it rained, when we had ice storms. It didn't matter. I'm out there. I'm walking. I'm a committed person. I committed to this. I'm doing it. So I walk every single day, at least 1 hour. When I have time, I do 2 hours every single day.
Chef D, you know one thing, sorry to interrupt you. You know one thing that I heard? I tell people all the time, we don't lack. Everybody says, hey, man, can you coach me? I say, no, I can't coach you. Hey, man, can I go to the gym with you? Nope, I can't go to the gym with you. Hey, man, can you send me a meal plan? Nope, I cannot send you a meal plan. Man, why you like that? I said, you don't like any of these things. What you like is discipline. Once you make a decision and have the discipline to sacrifice to support that decision, then you know what you did? You made a decision, Chef D. You analyzed some of those issues that were not working, and you were disciplined enough. You just said, I don't care if it rains, snow, cats, hell, demons, whatever's running around, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to walk before and after.
Correct.
Right? And you didn't allow how you felt, because, we're all driven by feelings in today's society, right? we're creatures of feelings. You know, I feel this way, so it must be something, right? So when you were not driven by your feelings, you were not driven by your circumstances, you were not driven by your excuses.
Nope.
You were not driven by anything but your discipline and your decision and the willingness to make the sacrifice to make it happen.
She
right?
stayed consistent.
There was something you said though, and I want you to talk a little bit more about that and how you made that happen. And maybe you could talk a little bit about Blue Mermaid. Is you said if it don't taste good, you're not gonna eat it. I heard that because I love food too much not to hear that. Right? I made sure I didn't hear nothing else, but I heard that part. Right? So you said you're a creature of habit, and listen, if you're gonna do this, you got to be able to keep up with it. And a lot of us, we have these 90-day goals, 150-day goals, and after that, guess what? Like you said, we're gonna put on more weight than we had the first time. Because we're not gonna be able to keep it because we don't really like it. We're just doing it, but we don't really like it. How did you create these meals? Because, you know, they told me no salt in my food because, you know, salt is going to hold in a lot of water.
Very true.
Yeah.
Right? Salt holds in a lot of water weight. Why do athletes drink Gatorade? To retain, not to lose as much as they're losing, right? So you shouldn't be drinking Gatorade just to drink Gatorade just because you want to. You got to be exerting some energy to drink Gatorade out here, people.
Yeah.
Just letting you know, that's a lot of sodium. You were probably looking at your sodium intake, which was one of the number one things because you said you had high blood pressure.
Yeah.
You were looking at your sugar intake because you told me you had diabetes. Right?
Yeah.
So as a chef that has to cook and taste all the time these delicious meals, chef, what did you do to make sure you had delicious meals but at a healthy rate and cutting down all of those things? Because you know my little fat behind. I need this 411. So go ahead and put me on game.
So the food portion was really like one of the last things I addressed. Because like you were saying, it's really the mindset. Once you have that mindset locked in, nothing can influence you to not do it because you know why you're doing it. Once you know your why, the how just follows suit. It comes to you.
Yes.
So when it came to food, I love food. You hear me? That's my comfort. That's my best friend. That's everything.
I hear you.
So then, yes, and I had to realize, okay, all the foods that don't love me, I won't love back. Like ice cream.
Oh, you broke up with him?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, ice cream doesn't love me. I had to stop that.
You broke up with ice cream? Oh, I know he was heartbroken.
We had to break up, and it was not an amicable separation, but it had to happen.
I love it. I
love it. Keep it coming.
Yeah, so what I had to do is I realized, what do I like about ice cream? The fact that it's cold, the fact that it's sweet, and the fact that it's delicious. So how can I make something different that's going to love me back? It has to be cold, sweet, and delicious. So I would take bananas. I would take soursop. I would take peaches, whatever flavors I wanted. I would take the fruit and freeze it. And then I would put it in my Vitamix, and I would add more ice to it. I would add whether it's cashews to give it that buttery flavor of ice cream, and I would just add some cinnamon, a little pinch of nutmeg, a little bit of vanilla.
Oh, so she's an island girl too. Okay, because I heard the salsa.
Yeah.
I heard the nutmeg.
There you go.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I would make it that way, and it would come out creamy, soft, and sweet without me adding sugar or adding anything else. And that would satisfy my craving. So ice cream, you've been replaced. And it would be the same thing with every other food. Something I love, like I would eat any meat, to be honest with you. But then I started feeling like when I eat steak, it stays in my stomach forever. It takes forever to be digested, and I didn't like that the heavy feeling. But I could replace it with something else. I love salmon. I replace it with salmon. All seafoods. I'll just do seafood. And to make it taste good, I would go to the natural herbs and make that mixture. And that's how Blue Mermaid came about too, because I was like, okay, so I'm not adding salt. Like my products have less than 1% salt, but making that mixture of the seasoning, I would treat each ingredient a different way. Some things would be roasted, some things would be flamed or I would do different things, different treatments to the ingredients, and then mix them, blend them, bring them together. And it's like I'm already adding layers of flavors to my food without even starting making the food.
Right.
So by the time I add this flavor in there, you can have all the herbal essences in there. You don't miss the salt. You
So
eat salt when you.
So what you did was you took natural herbs.
Natural herbs.
Instead of getting the artificial stuff, all the shakers with all of that high saturated fat and sodium, right? The stuff that's really not good for us. We shouldn't be putting in our food anyway, like Maggi and all of the other stuff, right? So what you did was instead of saying, "Hey, I'm gonna go buy the fake parsley in a bottle," I go buy real parsley.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna go buy real mint. I'm gonna go buy real basil. All right? I'm gonna go buy the real herb. It's probably cheaper and better too, right?
Yes, it is.
And then guess what? And then you would use those natural flavors without the added preservatives that comes in that bottle, and you would just put them directly onto your food. But the flavor was enhanced, and guess what? It was healthier for you. Now, did you do anything with your oils when you were cooking? Because cooking healthy sounds great, but if you're using the wrong oil, I heard, well, you just wasted your health benefits.
Yes, so you have to go to oils that are non-saturated, right? So
Gotcha.
you choose carefully. So you have olive oil, but you can't
cook on high heat with that.
Nope. Yes, and you have to use good ones. The first press, the cold press, that's the best version of it because different prices, it means something. Yes. Get the cold press version. Don't get the cheaper version of it. The that's left over. It's just as bad as your regular corn oil or vegetable oil that they're selling out there. Coconut oil, avocado oil, grapeseed oil. I mean, there's like a bunch of different oils that are really, really good that you can use on your foods if you need it. You can also use Teflon pans too. That's not exactly great for health, but the non-stick version option that they offer keep you from having to use bad fat that's going to clog your arteries. I've also used the cream of coconut in place of butter.
Yes.
You know, that cream of coconut they sell, it's like in a block. It comes in a refrigerated section.
Yes.
If you like coconut flavor or you're not allergic to coconut, it's a great alternative.
Yes, it is.
You can use almond butter. You can use different versions of healthy fats to replace certain things. It's just a matter of reconditioning your mind, because if you're defensive mentally, when you make those switches, you're going to be like, oh, that's not the real version. No, it's not, because you're not using all the same ingredients. The real version comes with preservatives and fillers. A lot of the spices and seasonings we use have heavy metals. Your liver has to get rid of that and detoxify that. Your kidneys, part of your body's elimination system, have to process those things. And it takes a toll on your organs. But if you're not ingesting those things to begin with, you don't have to focus on getting rid of free radicals and stuff in your system. You can focus on eating healthy, eating fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, make them taste delicious with how you treat them. And your taste buds are going to become so sensitive because you're getting rid of the salt. You'll see how sweet peas are, how sweet carrots are, how salty celery is naturally. You'll pick up on natural flavors of the fruits and vegetables, so it's a feast in your mouth. You actually enjoy the food so much more than if you just fill it up with salt. Everything is like salt, salt, salt. Get rid of that. You don't need it. Things are naturally sweet. You don't need the added sugar, but your taste buds have to be able to pick up on those flavors.
Wow, Chef D. Wow, you're dropping us with a lot of knowledge right now. A lot of knowledge. So, Chef D, for those that don't know you, how can our listeners follow you and see some of the stuff that you're working on? Maybe look at some of the recipes that you may be posting on maybe IG, Facebook, LinkedIn. I don't know, all of those beautiful places that you're at. Maybe your website. You mentioned earlier, for the sake of time, I'm about to kick you off real quick. You mentioned earlier about some spices that you had created that's less than 1% salt. That intrigued me. I picked up on that. Anything that has to do with food, I'm going to pick up on that, right? So just tell our listeners, if they wanted to follow you so they can get a better understanding and visual of what you're talking about, because I'm a visual learner. All this auditory stuff is going over my head, right? I need to see it. I need to see this stuff, man. If I don't see it, I don't believe it, right? I'm the guy without faith. Show me, right? You got to show me so I can believe, right? How could our listeners follow you?
So I'm Blue Mermaid Gourmet. Blue Mermaid because I'm an island girl. So I'm Blue Mermaid. And gourmet is because I put my heart and soul in my products, and that's what makes it gourmet. It's not just made in any sloppy kind of way. So it's Blue Mermaid Gourmet. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. Just, look for Blue Mermaid Gourmet. And my website is bluemermaidgourmet.com. Some of my products are sold on Walmart, Marketplace, Amazon. And I'm in 23 stores throughout New York and Florida.
Excuse me. When I grow up, I want to be just like you.
I love it.
Chef, go ahead. Finish off.
Yeah, my focus is on healthy eating. I mean, we don't have to suffer from diabetes, and that's something that's plaguing our community. We don't have to suffer from the inflammation or the swelling, and you could try your best. But the best thing you can do for yourself is stress reduction. Stress can kill you. You have to focus on what I say is avoid all things, all places, all people, and all activities that cause you stress. If it doesn't make you happy, don't partake in it. Amen. And do what's good for you without asking anyone for permission. All that is a part of your lifestyle change. My Spices is just a small part of that lifestyle change that supports the new healthy version of you. That's what I've been doing. And when I tell you I don't stress, I don't do anything crazy. I go on my walk. I cook very simple foods, very easy but delicious, really gourmet food. I only deal with pleasant people, pleasantness, pleasant activities. I don't watch the news because it causes stress. Anything Chef
D, that's a conversation for another day. Today we're talking about food. You going on stress and other stuff. So Chef D, we want to thank you for calling in. We want to thank you for calling in. We will bring you back. You ain't got to get it all in right now. We're going to get you another day. Thank you for calling in. We're going to go on a quick little commercial break. We'll come back with our final tips of the day. Thank you for listening to Iconic Konvo with Diamond and Dijon.
Chef D, we love you.
Tired of all that baloney they force feed you on social media?
Yes.
Then get connected to Power 108.9, a station for the people.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Malik McFadden, and did you know that you can listen to Power 108.9 24/7? Just visit the website, power1089.com, or simply say, Alexa, play Power 108.9. Yeah.
You're back with Diamond and Dijon on Iconic Konvo.
Yes,
Diamond. So we just recently had Chef D from New York.
Amazing.
New York.
Don't forget the islands too. And she's from my island, so big up.
I hear you.
That was amazing though, Dijon. And just, to say, hey, this is somebody that you guys should follow. As you said, bluemermaid.com. On all platforms.
Blue Mermaid Gourmet, yes.
Blue Mermaid Gourmet. Thank you for the correction.
You're welcome.
And just to, reiterate everything that we've been stressing about health and fitness, shout out to our sponsors.
Most definitely.
Restored, Next Level Promotion, Blue Lighting Consultant, you name it, we have Unlimited Networks, and of course, the Georgia Spartans in the House Media. And to let you know that Georgia Spartan is actually doing the fitness challenge.
I heard.
Yes, the school supply giveaway, which will be taking place on August 6th, right there in the city of South Fulton.
I'll do only one block. I'll run one block. That's
1 p.m. to 4 p.m., whatever. Okay, and we have some amazing people that's going to be in the building. Reese Sweeney, he's going to be there hosting. We have Lamar Odom coming through, Helen Willis, and of course Marvin Arrington Jr. So it's going to be an amazing time. Pete State is one of the sponsors for that. And, we just want to make sure that we support our councilwoman, Helen Willis. And go out there, do our activities, and make sure that we're staying mentally fit as well as physically fit.
Well, since Lamar Odom was out there, I might go out there and beat him one-on-one. And maybe I can get a quick 10-day contract with the Lakers or somebody. I just need a 10-day contract.
Really?
That's a check. That's a free check. Listen, that's a free check to play ball.
He always says he can play some ball, y'all.
Listen, your husband still didn't see me on the court. Ooh. I'm just saying. But listen, with that being said, we want to leave you guys with a couple quick tips before we get our Iconic 60. A couple quick tips for this evening. Drink lots of water.
Yes.
Drink lots of water. Cut down on your sugar intake. Cut down on the carbs. Cut down on frozen and processed foods. Cut down on fast food. Cut down on greasy fried fast food. No sodas if you can help it. No sodas. cardio at least 30 to 60 minutes a day. It doesn't have to be crazy, guys. Just dedicate 30 to 60 minutes a day. Moderate weightlifting. If you can do it, do it. If you can't, figure out something else to do. Calisthenics, push-ups, sit-ups, squats. Use your body. You got weight everywhere you go. Might as well use that weight, right? Might as well use that weight, right? Cut down on your food portions. If you like them big old plates, I love it too, but cut it down. Cut it down. Start shrinking our stomach a little bit. Cut down on that alcohol. Everybody's favorite pastime, that alcohol. Cut that down.
Okay,
cut down.
Dejan.
Try not to eat after 7:30.
Right.
Try not to. That's the devil, eating after 7:30.
Lactose intolerant, y'all. We are lactose intolerant.
All right. Hey, almond milk is a good choice, right? That cow milk was a lie that was told to us, and we bought onto it, but it's okay. Try to get at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep every night. Try to go for a walk after dinner, before bed, to activate those things that you just put in your bed. And start every morning with some green tea.
Yes.
Start every morning.
So true.
Start every morning.
We have to go back to the basics.
Start every morning.
Back to the basics.
With some green tea. So Iconic 60. So we do Iconic 60. What we do is we give you some quick business tip. Iconic 60. And the business tip of the day is, if you're not promoting yourself, then you're not being promoted. So it just takes 30 seconds for you every day. 4 to 5 times a day is the average that we're asking you to promote yourself. So if you're not promoting yourself, then you're not visible and you're not a business. Hey, we like to thank you for listening to Iconic Konvo with Diamond and Dejan each and every first and third Monday.